Hello and welcome to the Just Interesting podcast, the podcast that's interesting if your threshold for things that are very interesting is quite low. As always, I'm joined by Robin and Alex, the gentleman in disguise.
Hello.
Well, thanks. How are you doing, Martin?
I'm pretty good. I've got a little bit of a tickly cough, which is it does happen. Yeah. So I'm going to be a little bit. What's the word? A little bit. On the mute button, I'll be hovering. Let's just say. But other than that, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I've had a good week. Certain work commitments are finished now, which is great. So I've got a bit of time to relax, which is good. And yeah, always an absolute pleasure to be with you guys, and also excited about today's topic, which was a topic that I don't think any of us knew too much about before this week.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Which of course is.
Yeah, I got pretty excited when I heard the title that you brought to us, Martin. Russia's Area 51. I was thinking,
I know, right? Wow, it's catchy, isn't it?
That is a catchy thing. I need to know more. Yeah.
Indeed. And you think all of these big nations that have military secrets are going to have, the necessary military bases to house them. And so it's not necessarily a surprise. But of course, with the way that Russia is, the secrecy around the Soviet Union, the Cold War, it's still secretive today. So yeah, I'm interested to be dealt a little bit later. But before we do that, of course, we're going to learn about the things that we've learned this week. And we're going to be looking at your comments too. But before we get into that, we just wanted to say a quick thank you and a heartfelt thank you to those of you who've supported us on Patreon. And I believe, Alex, that you have a list of patrons that we want to thank.
I do indeed. And I guess an apology, because we should really be reading this every single week, I think.
100%,
we didn't want to... Yeah, we just want to say how much your support means to us, basically. And thank you. Thank you again. So thank you in particular, not just to these people, but to everyone who supports us, but in particular these people. Thank you to Rashad Najjar, Caleb Wilkerson, Kurt Jones, Nemo, John Baker, Janie, Jarax Nidar, Henny Ruffle, the Super Show podcast, which everyone should be listening to as well as this podcast, Nicholas Dill, Emmett Tapia, Hey Swanboat, Ahmed, the one and only Peaswad, Josh Chomatek, A Filthy Casual, Simon Workman, the one and only Sir Chris McCrite, and Captain Wonky, a.k.a. the artist formerly known as Cat. Yeah, thank you all so much for all of your support.
Lovely. We also have YouTube members, and I believe Elaine Christina in our live chat has just joined.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you.
Exclusive bonus videos. Yes, because we do weekly episodes of A Little More Interesting. So if you're interested in signing up to hearing a little bit more from us, then you get access to, I think, over 100 episodes of that we've done, as well as these podcasts now. What was the most recent thing we were talking about on there? Immortality. That was it.
We were, yeah.
It was how much you would pay for to de-age yourself, because there was a recent story where scientists had de-aged mice, and we were asking that kind of question. And also we came up with an absolutely insanely amazing idea for a dystopian novel / film or whatever, a dystopian story. So if you want to, that would pay for your Patreon membership itself if you wanted to steal that idea. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And of course, the money that does go towards the Patreon was used to make things like our most recent escapades in York, on the hunt of Dick Turpin, and of course the next one that's coming out too, which shan't be too long, I don't believe, and also to get equipment like this lovely microphone that I never use properly. So thank you very much. So the next things next, I guess, before we move on to
You're building anticipation. I'm just excited. Okay. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. I see. I thought
it's like my primate response to something exciting.
You did make well, I almost forgot the riddle, which I'll do next. Because I thought you were going, hold on a second, you've forgotten the riddle. Well,
no, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm that person that Martin, if I make a noise, Martin thinks I'm about to correct him. Oh no.
This is you're
so-
getting a full image of what you are like to other people now, Robin. This is the danger of doing a podcast for so long with two people.
It gradually exposes yourself.
Exactly.
To,
I'm always exposing myself, and that is a problem that needs to be dealt
No, I thought that was my role. I thought
Actually,
that
it
was my role in
is.
this
Yeah,
podcast.
you're the problem there. Yeah.
So I'm doing a
I'm
podcast
the
with
problem
two
child.
people that constantly expose themselves. Okay.
But only one
Yes.
of us gets sent to jail on a regular basis for it.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so guys, today's riddle is an interesting one. I mean, before this, I just have to say to you guys that in the theme of today's podcast, I looked up Soviet riddles. They were so bluntly Russian. It was hilarious. It was like, "What can you not eat for breakfast? Dinner." That was like the riddle. Like, okay, cool. So we decided to avoid some of those. So I've gone for this one instead. Okay.
Okay.
So, what can you hold in your right hand? You can't- but not in your left. And no dirty answers.
Okay.
What can you hold in your right hand but not in your left?
Oh, okay. It's the answer.
That's tricky.
You can hold in your right hand, but not in your left.
Sorry.
Mm,
Because you.
Have to think about that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Perhaps-
I'll have a think about that. Yeah, that's quite. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a head scratcher.
What can you hold?
It is, and if you know the answer, perhaps refrain from the comments just for a few minutes to give the guys a chance to think.
I feel like it's either going to be really clever or very specific. Like
yes.
I had
left-handed scissors, or something like
Yes.
I had one thing that popped into my head that is it was like immediately and quite obvious. So
Okay.
I'm thinking it might be that, but I don't want to give I won't give the answer.
Okay. Well, hold off on the answer for now, and we'll come back to that. So before we get into the main topic of the week, I want to know what you guys have learned this week. Who should we go with first? Alex, you seem like you're eager.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm very eager. So today I learned about the signing of the 1945 UN Charter. Obviously, a massive, monumental thing. All these United Nations coming together to sign this charter, this accord. But did you know that there was someone who you might not expect at the signing of the UN Charter, and that was everybody's favorite Star Wars character, Yoda.
What?
That is according, at least, to a Saudi Arabia textbook when they, in 2017, accidentally printed, I think, 70,000 copies of a textbook with a picture of Yoda photoshopped next to King Faisal while he was signing the 1945 UN Charter.
What?
What?
I thought it
How
was just
does
a
that
little
happen?
funny story.
That's amazing. But how does that happen? What happened to quality control and proofreading and just
So, yeah, they're
to
not really...
grab the image from the internet?
I'm not sure if there was a follow-up from the story, but they said a committee was looking into the unintended mistake. I mean, you know what happened. They basically took an image off of Google or, the internet.
Yeah.
And then didn't really have a look at it because they're putting this textbook together, probably quickly. And they didn't realize that it was an art piece from a 2013 artwork collection. And it was basically the artwork featured lots of American pop culture, ranging from Captain America to Darth Vader, superimposed onto like archival shots of historic events.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of cool, kind of naff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, that sounds like lots of fun. But there's that does expose their methods, doesn't it, for producing these textbooks? They're clearly not doing it the proper way. Licensing these images from an actual library or archive. It's just grabbing it from the internet.
Yeah.
But in fairness, I feel like this picture
publisher.
would probably be public domain. You probably wouldn't need to license it. I don't know.
No, but I would hope that anything that textbook, you're probably going to pay 20 quid for it or something. I would hope that they've actually bothered to get a high quality image from its source as opposed to grabbing it from
Wikipedia or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this was a Saudi artist called Shawish who made this series of artworks, and they felt like, worried that they were going to offend the royal family with this, and I think they received quite a bit of criticism from this from Saudi, citizens of Saudi Arabia, but most of the blame went on the education minister who allowed this to happen.
I see.
But I just thought this was like a little funny whoops.
Yes.
It's great.
A little
It's a great
whoopsie.
picture of Yoda at the UN.
I mean, of all the Star Wars characters to turn up to that event, I'm glad it was Yoda and not.
Darth Maul.
I mean,
yeah,
Darth
yeah,
Maul or Darth Vader next to the King of Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's
The Emperor would have been quite good, actually.
The Emperor would be
The
very
Emperor would be
appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emperor or Jar Jar. Yeah. Until they'd be top tier.
Jar Jar. Yeah.
Mrs. has signed the declaration. Robin, with that, what have you learned this week?
Well, I learned this today, and this is kind of a public service announcement for anybody who's interested in space and the comets in particular, because this week, and this week only, you can see a green comet that is heading the closest to Earth that it's ever been.
If you had said it's heading straight to Earth, then
It's heading straight for us, yeah.
the fact that
you
it
can
was
see
green
it,
would
all
be
right.
massively irrelevant.
Well, you know,
I was gonna
at
ask,
least
you
you
know,
know
like, why was it green?
what colour comet is going to
But
destroy.
it has a lovely,
No, it's-
unusual hue as it comes to destroy all of humankind.
Luckily, it's not getting that close. It's expected to get no closer than about 42 million miles. 42 million kilometers, 26 million miles of our planet, and it's visible today. Today, actually, you can see it. But at the moment, it's a bit small, so binoculars are the best way to see it. Tonight, at the time of streaming this live on the 30th of January, it's near the star Polaris, which is the North Star, I believe. So look up into the night sky towards the brightest star, and you shall see a little green dot through your binoculars. But on Thursday, the 2nd of February, it is due to be visible with the naked eye. In fact, it might even be visible on Wednesday as well. And it's called Comet. And it's got a funny name because C/2022 E3. Catchy name.
Catchy name, yeah.
But it's last time it was visible from Earth was 50,000 years ago.
Wow.
So this is very much a once in a lifetime opportunity.
So
to see a comet.
about
A
the same
monumental
time as when
event.
this podcast started.
Yeah. What, this
That's
episode?
right. Why is it green? Do we know why it's
I
green?
guess that's
It is.
because of the chemical composition of the ice on the comet, I guess.
Yes,
Interesting.
Cool.
That's my-
Camera Shy Coco in the comments says, saw it. It's a fuzzy green spot in the sky. An absolute waste of time.
Great.
I love that. That's
Are you having a good day? Having a good day there, Camera Shy Coco? Feeling all right? Good. Well, this
Well, I
week,
mean, wait till
I
Thursday,
kind
it
of-
might be
a
more
continuation of where I left. True. That's a good
Sorry
point.
to interrupt. Didn't mean to.
So you know, shit. Where I left off last week was on the chances of dying from going into space, the space facts,
Yeah.
which was morbid. So I thought I'd go for some other morbid death facts.
Oh.
And this is an article.
Are
called
you okay,
5
Martin?
Things. Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a long week. It's been a late night. It's been an Australian time. So
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that
God.
would make you want to kill yourself. Yeah.
So yeah. So this article I came across was called 5 Things More Likely to Kill You Than a Shark Attack. And some of them are quite interesting. So the first one on this list is vending machines. Apparently,
yeah.
let's just start with
Right,
how many shark attacks are okay. An average of just over 4, it seems like, per year for shark attack deaths.
What,
Vending
worldwide?
machines. Apparently so.
Oh, okay.
Vending machines are responsible for an average of 13 deaths a year.
Wow.
13
Not
deaths
even
a
13.
year.
That's more than one a month.
How can they not safeguard So like sharks, okay, fine, they're a living animal, and you know they inhabit like the vast oceans around the world. So okay, sure, you can't really control them 100% of the time, but there's a lot of control and safeguards you can put in place for vending machines.
Yeah.
How do vending
I bet that's
machines
people trying
kill
to
so
get
many
stuff
people?
out
Yeah, get
And
stuff
pull
out of
it-
it.
and pulling
Jumping
it
on
down
top.
on top of them. I bet that's what that is.
Probably jumping on top of them too. Maybe if they're really heavily front loaded or top loaded.
Way to blame the victim, guys.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm
Well,
saying
no,
that, you know,
yeah, well, although
Well,
you know,
oh, but if
maybe,
you're trying-
maybe.
yeah, should have just got an assistant to come and help you. Anyway, next on the list is jellyfish, which I don't think is too much of a surprise.
Oh.
Jellyfish,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Oh, I knew they
800
stung. I didn't realize they killed people.
Oh,
40
yeah.
deaths per year,
The
apparently.
box
40
jellyfish
deaths,
is like the most.
yeah.
Isn't that the most deadly? Or not? Maybe not deadly, but most poisonous, venomous animal.
I
It
better
stings and,
cancel
like,
that order of 50
Because of
jellyfish
the
I just
sting.
made.
Wow.
Yeah.
As pets. Come in the bath as me.
Yeah.
So yeah, jellyfish, 40 per year. Deer. When you hear about this, deer jumping into cars as well. 130 people
Wow.
a year, which is quite a lot.
I see. When you said deer, my first thought was, yeah, antlers, goring people to death. And then you said cars. And I was like, that actually makes way more
Yeah,
sense.
makes more sense. Yeah,
much
they're
more
herbivores.
sense.
Are we
Yes.
putting that on the deer though, or is that an automobile accident? Should
Yeah, I
that
feel
be
that's more
lumped
the
into
car's
that?
fault, isn't it? The deer's been killed. It's not like the deer are going around waiting for a car and they're like, quick!
Yeah, I guess if the deer wasn't there.
My maths teacher, famously amongst my school friends, one day my maths teacher turned up to school with a very dented bonnet and a dead deer on top of their car because obviously hit it on the way to work. And,
Maybe they just left it on top of the car.
well, they didn't want to be late and they didn't want to leave the deer in the road, so somehow they hauled it on top of their car and just drove it.
That's ridiculous. So did they eat it? A bit of a bush tucker trial, or
I don't know. I hope so. I didn't have that maths teacher, so I never spoke to them, sadly.
you're allowed to, aren't you? If you kill it. I mean, I'm not saying swerve
Roadkill,
into a deer
yeah.
to get roadkill, but yeah. Next on the list is beds. People falling out of beds. 450 people die every year falling out of bed in the US alone.
Wow.
Sorry, how 450?
Yeah,
These people with like
falling off
epic
the bed,
bunk beds.
falling up, smacking your head.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can we blame the beds
Cliffside
for
beds.
that? Can we blame the beds? That's people falling out of bed. That's like blaming
Well,
cliffs. People fall off cliffs. So it's the
everything's-
person's fault for
every
being
kind of
at the edge
accidents
the cliff.
Yeah, it's because of a bed, isn't it?
How do they-
It's just a fact, Robin. We don't have to go into.
No, I'm
don't have
not.
to break it down to-
I'm just semantics. But is it they break their neck or something? What happens when they?
And hit their head, break their neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
All these
there's
people.
101 ways to die from falling out of bed.
Detective, is there a pattern in these deaths? Yes, they all sleep on the roof. Why is their bed on the roof? We don't know, but for some reason they sleep on the roof and then they fall out of bed. Stupid.
Take
Sorry.
the mattress king into custody.
Yes, it is a silly way to die.
I wouldn't want to die like that. That's really daft. No, I don't want to die like that.
I bet that's
I'm now
how I
worried.
die.
I'm going to sleep
I
on the
know,
floor
yeah.
from now on. I'm going to stay on the floor.
Yes.
Just to be safe.
Yeah, but instead there are more people sleep on the floor nowadays, aren't they? Like minimalists.
Is there a minimum height? Right, like if you slept on a mattress on the floor, is that high enough to die? 'Cause some mattresses are quite deep.
It does seem a bit silly. I mean, people got like stone floors next to their bed, perhaps. Yeah.
The thing
Interesting.
is, they were just playing the floor as lava, but taking it very, very seriously.
Oh, my wife fell out of bed and onto this knife with my fingerprints on it.
Oh no!
Accident. Oh no.
It kills 400 Americans every year. Oh dear. Oh, well, that is interesting though, Martin. I didn't know that. I think the takeaway from that is that sharks are pretty harmless, and Jaws did a lot of damage.
They're pretty safe.
Yeah. Didn't
They're pretty
Spielberg
safe, and
recently
a lot.
apologize for that?
I think
He
so.
did.
Yeah.
He did. He came out and said, "Yeah, if I'd known how much damage it would have done to the shark populations, I would never have made." No, he didn't say that, did he? He was just like, "I'm disappointed that it caused this perception of sharks."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But screw them. I love the movie. It's made me loads of money. That's what he actually said. Yeah. That was the official quote. And the last one on the list is falling coconuts. Apparently, falling coconuts.
Sorry.
150 people per year.
Oh.
Wow.
See, I can believe that because
That's a lot of coconuts.
I could believe that.
yeah, because they're hard, those things, and if it's blown out with the wind, then it will be coming at you with some force.
Yeah. Got to be careful of them coconuts. But anyway, that was my quite slightly morbid, slightly shocking, I think, list of things more likely to kill you than a shark.
I could think of 100 other things, Martin, but none of them would be as interesting or as funny. They'd just be obvious, you know.
Yeah.
Murder.
And you're like, oh, what about a knife?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, knives don't kill people. The human kills the person. That'd be your rationale, Robin.
That's why I'm going with the bed thing. I'm like, it's not really the bed's fault.
It's the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, someone it was
kind of talked yourself into
Elaine
a pro
Christina
gun
in the chat.
argument with that logic, though, Robin.
Oh no, okay, yeah, I realise. Elaine Christina says it's not about the height, but how your head hits the ground. Good point, I think. In response to my question about is there a minimum height, and I appreciate that accidents happen in all kinds of things. You could slip on some water that's on the floor, and then crack your head on the skirting board and die. Things just happen, unfortunately, sometimes. But
it sounded like a vague threat that a villain would make.
That wasn't meant to be.
Yes, you could have just slipped on
anyone,
that water.
Anyone could just slip on some water, crack their head on the skirting board. You never know. You never know.
You never know.
These
and then
things
the
happen.
next thing they're sleeping with the fishes. Tommy Webber says some diver had their head bit off by a great white the other day.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Yeah, no,
that's grim.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah.
No,
they say your brain lives for about, is it a minute or is it 30 seconds? Your brain lives beyond death, like it's the last thing to go. So you can still see, when you die, you can still see what's happening for a few seconds. So I wonder if he could see the inside of a shark's mouth and throat.
Well, thank you for that image. That was lovely.
That's not fun, is it? That's not fun. No.
I mean, it's something to think about whilst you're dying.
It's a family show. Let's keep it light.
Okay.
That's not nice. That's not a nice thought. That's not a nice thought.
Probably just darkness. I imagine.
Darkness, yeah. Yeah.
Not much light inside a shark's stomach, I imagine.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a headlamp.
Yes.
I hope he had a headlamp so he could actually see something as he was being swallowed. Please say something. I'm just talking.
Oh, well, let's have a look at what the people in the comments are saying. So, Camera Strike Coco, most of it, this is just gravity. Well, yeah, if we're going to, semantics, yes, it is. Bushlight, they say, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop.
True.
No truer word was said.
Yeah.
Very true.
So there we go.
Was that Arnie quote from, is it Kindergarten Cop? Where he says, it was the pavement that was his enemy. Yeah, or whatever.
Was that in Kindergarten Cop? I've seen that film a lot, but I
it's one of the Arnies. Maybe it's not Kindergarten Cop. It's one of them.
Is it Jingle All the Way? Obviously.
No one dies in that, surely.
No,
surely.
Okay, so guys, did you come across any particular comments this week that you'd like to share?
There was a lovely comment that I wanted to point to just an hour ago. I think this was on our last episode. Terrifying facts about space you wish you didn't know. But this was from Rosina James, who's just said, I just wanted to say thank you because no matter what the topic of the week is, just listening to you always calms my general life anxiety and makes silly situations like walking to the shop easier. And I just thought that was actually really nice. Yeah, that's I'm glad that we can ease like your anxiety a little bit, because that's horrible, that kind of feeling. So yeah. Although I'm sure Robin's imagery of the sharks just now didn't help, so apologies.
Yeah, sorry. I'm afraid the comment I've got also might just increase your anxiety. It's going back to Martin's morbidity facts, because on the same podcast episode, which was 8 facts about space you wish you didn't know, Akagata42 responded to Martin's modes of dying, which was... hey, what? 1 in 1,000 skydives leads to a fatality? I've done over 3,000 skydives. Come on.
I think it was 1 in 100,000.
1 in 100,000. Okay.
I think it was 1 in 100,000.
In that case, Akagata42, you've got 97,000 skydives to go.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not even taken into account. And that takes into account all the people that are, thrown out of a plane for a skydive, and it's actually, just a form of killing. No parachute. so there we go. Romhack64 says the Beta Boys podcast. So that's nice. That's very, very kind.
Wow.
I'd hate to argue, but
that cuts
it's
deep,
probably accurate.
Fair enough. I'm pleased to be promoted to Beta. I thought we were... Well,
what's worse than that?
Gamma? Yeah. We're just saying the
Gamma.
Greek alphabet now.
Yeah, just all the way down to
just
Omega.
Quoting the alphabet.
Yes.
Well, there's another one from MJ. It says Robot Robin, Martian Martin, Apalachian, Black Panther Alex, which I have no idea what that meant. Do any of you guys know?
What was that
any kind of a
Appalachian?
No,
Black
no.
Panther
So let us
Alex?
know.
I
Let
love
us know,
it.
MJ.
That's the coolest nickname I've ever had in my life. But
was it Martian Martin? I'm going to start calling you that. and Appalachian Black Panther Alex. I might shorten that to something else.
Rolls off the tongue. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. APB. ABP.
ABP.
ABP. That's your new nickname, Alex.
ABPA.
Cool. I like it.
ABPA.
Appa.
I like it. Nice one.
Nice.
Okay, gentlemen. So with that, we move on to the next segment, and the main segment of our show this week, which is, of course, Russia's Area 51.
Okay, we're back.
So, Russia's Area 51, Kapustin Yar. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background into what this secret military base actually is, when it was created, and then go into some of the supposed sightings, extraterrestrial, potentially, UFO definitely, extraterrestrial, potentially, sightings that have been seen here. And there would definitely be some familiarity and some crossover with other military sightings, or sorry, other extraterrestrial UFO sightings that we've discussed previously.
Okay.
So, Kapustin Yar was created by the Soviet Union in 1946. So we're talking post-World War II time, the start, of course, of the Cold War. And the aim of it was basically to develop advanced technologies and mainly weapons with the help of some of the German scientists that they got on board. So, of course, after World War II, a lot of the Nazi scientists that were working on various different technology programs, including missile programs.
The V2 rocket, I guess.
Exactly, the V2 rocket, which actually was tested here at Kapustin Yar after World War II. So this place it's located 600 miles south of Moscow. And the primary goal was to, of course, test the rockets in a post-World War II era. I can hear some pretty heavy breathing. Some of you guys.
Could be.
Could be.
Sorry. I've got a bit of a cold, so apologies if my breathing is interrupting your...
It's a bit of squeaking.
Some heavy
What the hell is that?
I could hear it as well, so I think that might be from you, Robin. Yeah.
Sorry, I do have a cold.
All good. I've got a cough too. We're fine in it. We're all well. It's perfect for an audio first product, isn't it? Fantastic.
This is tip number 53 in our upcoming book, 101 Ways to Guarantee Your Podcast is a Gripping, Authentic Experience that transports your audience. It's we're working on the title. It's a bit long to fit on the front cover, but we'll get it right eventually.
Oh, amazing.
I love podcasts with sinister background, like heavy breathing. That's great.
Wonderful. And so, of course, this is an incredibly top secret base, which inevitably leads to comparisons with Area 51. And also, on top of that, there have been various UFO sightings, which has just only proved to increase the speculation about what is really going on at this Russian military base. In the mid-60s, up until the mid-60s, it became a cosmodrome, so a place that was used to launch rockets into space. But they actually only launched a couple of smaller rockets here, and the West believed that Kapustin Yar was actually being used as part of the Sputnik program, and to launch those weapons launch those missiles into space. It turned out that it actually wasn't being done from there, but it just shows kind of from a foreigner, from a Western standpoint, what they thought this site was actually being used for. It was a pretty big deal.
It was very secretive. Very
yeah.
It was
exactly.
Kept as kind of under wraps as like a lot of US bases, but particularly, I guess, the one that we know most famously as Area 51.
Exactly. And in fact, similarly to Area 51, it's still in operation today. And some missile tests have been taking place as recently, I believe, as 2019. So it's very much active, but also incredibly secretive.
Interesting.
Nothing says more about trying to safeguard the secrets of a military base than destroying the town that existed, or the city, called Zitka, that existed there prior to the military base's completion. They just demolished the whole city because it was too close, and they didn't want to have any curious people nosing about and wondering what was going on. So they just basically were like, everyone out, destroyed the city,
That's such a Soviet way of dealing with that, isn't
I know. Just it's completely just crush it to the ground and just build the secret military base. That was cool. Yeah, that was called Zitka.
The population can't spy on us if the population aren't here.
Exactly. No, it doesn't arouse any suspicion at all, does it? Why'd you have to move? No reason. We're just building a secret military base. And of course, they named the most secret of the underground bases at Kapustin Yar after the name of the city. How lovely is that? Zitka. So very nice.
Lovely.
And it's not shown, like, as you'd imagine, it wasn't shown on any maps or any kind of records for years because it was so secretive, similarly to Area 51. So what have people supposedly seen around Kapustin Yar, the Russian Roswell? So Roswell, of course, happened in July 1947. So just 1 year after this. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea about kind of the potential influence of some of the sightings that had seen. I mean, maybe that's me being quite skeptical, but Roswell's just happened. It's been quite a big deal. Information's starting to flow about what's happened there.
Oh, we've got a UFO as well. If you think
exactly. They don't want to be left behind, right? The aliens like us too. And so a year after Roswell in 1947, some radio operators just outside of the military base picked up on this unidentified flying object. And they sent a Soviet MiG jet to see basically what was going on with this thing, which I think is quite interesting in itself, that a military jet was sent to intercept this UFO, because you'd expect that if it had come from the military base, there'd be a directive that says, don't worry about it. Like, you don't need to send anything. It's
Ooh, that's an interesting point.
Hush, hush, but let's just chill. But anyway, the pilot of this MiG apparently spotted a cigar-shaped object. So that's quite familiar with other sightings. Classic cigar, cigar-shaped object flying in the vicinity of the military base. And according to the reports, the pilot saw a very bright light, so maybe some kind of extraterrestrial weapon, maybe some kind of electronic weapon, that momentarily blinded him. So he was blind for a bit, but he managed to fire upon this UFO. And he took it out of the sky. It crash landed into the earth.
They took out a UFO.
Supposedly. So this is the. Of course, what we find here is that the records of what exactly happened are very much hearsay because it's so secretive, and anyone that knew any information about it, would be hushed. So apparently, the record was taken inside Kapustin Yar for further analysis. Of course, it's so secretive that we don't know exactly what was collected from that wreckage for today. So I think that's one of the questions we have to ask ourselves, like, should we be skeptical? And probably we should, that this is essentially hearsay, right? It's essentially people's records based on supposedly people that were there. So this first piece of evidence is very much kind of speculative, post-Roswell. Do the Russians basically want you to believe that there's something similar happening in Russia as there was in Roswell?
But even that, they had to kind of one up the story a little bit. So it's like, we've got a UFO. We shot it down ourselves.
We shot it down.
Easy.
So,
I mean, welcome to Russia.
Can I put my skeptic's hat on for a moment and just offer a potentially rational explanation for this? So you make a really good point about weird that they would send out a MiG to investigate a UFO when the UFO, if it were coming from their own secret base, would presumably not require sending out a MiG to establish what it was. Except, from the little that I know about the Soviet Union's reputation, it wouldn't surprise me if their left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. And
that's it.
They're so enclosed that they go investigate a bogey, or whatever the Russian word for it is, a Baba Yaga, I don't know, and actually it is from the secret base. And then the second is, didn't they test nukes at Kapustin Yar?
Yeah.
So
yes,
I never thought about this before. I can't believe this never occurred to me. But this whole, as you pointed out, this classic cliche of the cigar-shaped object being a UFO. Suddenly, ballistic missiles. They're kind of cigar-shaped, aren't they? Yeah. Could they possibly? They've launched a ballistic missile he's intercepted it and at a distance sees this cigar-shaped object. In 1948, he has no idea that there's anything that is that kind of shape because it's top secret. And then that blinding flash, and I shot it down, it disappeared, is the nuke going off, in the distance. And he just kind of doesn't see the mushroom cloud for all the smoke.
I mean, I feel like
he's kind of blinded for a moment.
I feel like that's not a kind of, he's blinded for a moment and then it disappeared. There's a nuke that's gone off. I don't think he'd be there to live to tell the tale if he's that
I'm
close
thinking
to it.
if it's from a distance, because these V2 rockets, for example, which were the first ones you mentioned that they launched, tested there, which are obviously the Nazi scientists invented, they weren't small, they were big.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we know that intercontinental ballistic missiles today are huge. So if by 1948 they had developed the next version of the V2, the precursor to the eventual but intercontinental ones that the Russians have, maybe it was big enough for him to see it from a distance?
Mm-hmm.
Without getting too close and being obliterated by the blast?
Yeah,
just
I
speculating.
The other thing is, if this was...
Sorry, Martin, go for it.
So go for it, Alex. No, please do.
I was just going to say, wasn't this a little bit early for the Soviet Union? Wasn't it in the 1950s they developed nuclear?
Well,
I mean, this could be early testing, I guess. But
early testing on missiles as opposed to nukes specifically.
Very good question. Actually, when did they first?
Yes, but even if it was, it might not have been a nuclear missile, but it might have been another kind of missile, another kind of flying object. And perhaps those within the secret military base were like, we can't let any information about this get out to anyone, not even the military, because as soon as the military know what we're doing, the wider military, then the secret's out the cat's out the bag. Yeah. So perhaps they were like, well, actually, it'd be better if we just shot it down.
Okay, yeah,
because it's been spotted. We can say it's of unknown origin, and it kind of shuts down.
Control the story.
That, exactly. There's a potential. Anyway, something worth considering.
No, that sounds plausible. Yeah.
And then they did a whole Mirage Men approach. They took a page out of the US's book, and then they just said, "Oh yeah, it's a UFO. We shut it down. Probably aliens. Yeah. Don't think about it."
Yeah. Get everyone to believe in the aliens, and deflect from the truth about what's actually being created there.
Yeah,
the real life stuff. Yeah. So a couple of years later, we moved to 1950, and a very, very similar incident happened. So an unidentified flying object, again a similar cigar shape, was seen near to the base. This time a MiG fighter once again shot it down, so that's still the same. But on this account, 3 dead alien bodies were found in the wreckage and were described as being 4 feet tall, had blue-green reptile-like skin, long fingers and large heads. And supposedly some images of these aliens were taken, which of course look remarkably similar to the alien autopsy hoax video that was released. Do you remember that one from Roswell?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just send you guys over this, and perhaps then we can get it into the
thing, which was
into the.
Then made into that amazing Anton Dec film. Did you see that? The Alien Autopsy Anton Dec film?
Yes. Yeah.
Best thing about that film was the poster where they highlighted the LIE in Alien.
Nice.
Oh yeah, okay.
God, I've dropped it over. It's a fairly small image, but
get that.
But it does look very similar. You have this man standing behind what appears to be a traditional grey alien, with a giant head, skinny little body, and lying down in some kind of a see-through coffin box thing. So there we go. But it's a classic alien sighting, really.
Yep, that certainly does look like an alien.
Yes,
as you imagine.
Classic alien.
In the live chat, Doom says, I find it hard to believe we'd be able to shoot down any alien craft that was able to travel millions of light years to get here with our little weapons. Interesting point. Although having said that, I feel like once humanity is able to travel to other planets, we probably won't have built craft to be able to withstand attacks from any kind of projectile weaponry.
Yeah,
There'll be
right.
featherweight foil to travel through space on solar winds and things like that, won't they?
It took all of our kind of technology to get there in the first place. We're just hoping that we'd get a nice response by the time we get there. You know?
Oh, great!
Hello, and then we're immediately shot down by the alien Soviet Union.
Bloody typical, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that image now of that. For those listening to this on the audio version, it's a black and white photograph of a mustachioed officer of some kind. I think he's military. He could be medical, I suppose. He's got some kind of epaulets. And there's a very traditional looking grey alien with a big bulbous head and big eyes lying on a... I'm not sure what he's lying on, actually.
It looks like a
tube, isn't it? It's
encased in a glass tube type thing.
A glass see-through coffin type thing, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah. Why would they pose for this picture? Why? Where was this taken?
That's a
What's
bloody
the
good
situation?
I know. I mean, there's so many questions that arise from this. Like, what even is this? Like, what are we actually looking at? But yeah, supposedly this is an image taken from that time.
Fair enough.
I mean, one of the things that definitely comes to my mind is like the Soviets. They must have gained a lot of insights into like the extraterrestrials and what they're like, if this is an actual alien, but also into the alien technology and how it came to Earth, how it like came to Earth in the first place.
Yeah.
And there's theories about whether they used this particular knowledge to then develop what was kind of like the basis for the Sputnik program, which of course launched in 1957.
Okay.
So yeah, could this have been some the basis of the technology? Could this have actually helped them develop what essentially was the Russian space program and getting
they clearly didn't understand it well enough to get to the moon, did they?
Well,
I mean, it's an interesting thought. So are we saying that both Roswell and this incident both led to the US and the Soviet Union's improving their space program? Because presumably, like, if it's alien technology that helped the Soviet Union, then surely that also helped other nations around the world as well.
If they managed to get hold of the alien craft, and in this one they very much claim that they did, or accounts claim that they did. So perhaps.
I mean, we can look at like what the Germans were doing in World War II with the V2 rocket. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there was a natural progression. We didn't need to introduce alien technology, really. Like there was a natural technological progression there.
Look, this rocket's great. Why are you suddenly making everything cigar-shaped?
Yeah. What's this anti-gravity UFO
thing
you've got? Get that off. Just get a massive rocket engine on there. Yeah.
Well, there we go. And then in terms of other accounts, apologies, coughed. 1967 was one of the next accounts. In August 1967, this time a disc-shaped object was reportedly firing beams of light at a MiG-19. Piloted. This one's a little bit more specific, so it gives the name of the colonel. Let me butcher this name for you. Okay. Colonel Vyatkin Lev Mikhailovich. Yeah.
Oh, who let the Russian onto the podcast?
Vyatkin Lev Mikhailovich, who claimed to have quickly maneuvered his plane and evaded this beam of light, which hit one of his wings apparently, and caused a strange luminescent glow for a week.
A week?
Sounds pretty alien to me.
Where was the glow?
On the wing of his plane.
Wing that had been hit. Yeah,
oh, right.
By this beam of light.
Right, okay.
I mean, a bit of a weird weapon, doesn't it? It just...
Yeah.
It just fired some
luminescent
paint.
Cutting edge technology. What's it do? Makes things glow.
Make things glow in
for
the dark.
A week.
It's really great. Kids love it.
Yeah. Although, as Haynel Pauly in the chat pointed out, maybe aliens don't know what weapons are. Maybe it's a human thing.
Well, that's all.
He was just playing tag.
He was just playing tag.
He was like, yeah. Well, like this weapon's amazing on our planet. For some reason, it just doesn't work on any of the elements that exist on yours.
I mean, we've all seen Independence Day. That is kind of what that is about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So actually, maybe one day we'll be in that situation where we'll seem like the super advanced aliens.
Perhaps
Possibly,
one day,
Robin,
perhaps.
possibly.
I'm not very optimistic about that chance, to be honest.
I think the world might be gone by then.
I think so, yeah. Given our best chance of meeting extraterrestrials is Elon Musk, I'm not entirely optimistic about our chances of impressing them. I don't know, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, Robin,
Sorry, back to this fascinating story about...
Are you okay, Robin? I know it's Monday. Are you all right? You...
Sorry, but it's this cold, I guess. It's a bit heavy. I'm a bit down.
Oh,
But apologies for everyone listening. This isn't nice for you to listen to me be negative about stuff.
Not at all. I mean, there's definitely pauses where I'm like muting and then coughing, so it's all good.
Oh, thank you.
It's just
Mark.
the podcast of illness this week, but we soldier on.
Fellas.
Well, let's lighten the mood and return to Soviet Russia.
Oh yes, always known for its sunshine and rainbows. Fantastic. So there are other potentially related incidents around the event. One report. I mean, the thing you find about a lot of this is it's always like a report says this. An account says this. Yeah, it's like trying to find the actual. Yeah, exactly. Trying to find the actual like concrete evidence of any of this happening. Like with a lot of UFO sightings, it's incredibly difficult. But I digress. Another report says that the base was attacked by UFOs that managed to destroy 4 of its ballistic missile silos.
Whoa!
Okay,
that's big. That's huge.
That's big. Yeah. Is that a UFO or is that potentially an enemy aircraft? And they wanted to just call it a UFO, not to disclose who it was.
The state is preserving its honor by saying we were attacked by UFOs and not by.
Perhaps,
or
perhaps it was a UFO. They didn't know who did it.
Or maybe someone was smoking a cigarette a little bit too close to the missile silos, and it just set them off. And then they're like, "Don't look at me, UFOs did it." Maybe it was just a mistake.
Do we have a date? Do we have a date for that explosion, that attack on the silos?
Yes. So there were 2 silo incidents. The first one was in 1968. Okay. And then there was another one in 1975, which, Alex, your cigarette theory might actually be more on track with this one, because in 1975, a powerful explosion partially destroyed some missile silos. Witnesses claim to have seen a UFO flying over the area before the supposed attack. So there we go.
That is mysterious.
Indeed.
Because the first confirmed NATO flights were from 1953. They were reconnaissance flights over the base. Mm-hmm. So they were definitely able to fly over the base.
The US and the British did.
Yeah.
They did throughout this period, and that's why when it's a UFO, it might be true. It might well be a UFO, but it's quite possibly the US or British on a reconnaissance mission for sure.
Yeah,
that seems like the most likely.
It could also be aliens getting revenge for their comrade shot down in the 1940s.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is for. How do you say that name? Doesn't matter.
Sounds pretty Russian to me. And then the last recorded sighting was in July 1989, when as many as 7 witnesses reported seeing 3 flying objects, disc-shaped objects, 2 to 5 meters in diameter, glowing brightly, completely silent, and then hovered near the military base before jetting off at high speed.
Classic.
So,
there's a consistency
sighting
to these reports, though,
I know.
isn't there? That's interesting.
Yeah.
It would be nice to verify the original reporting of each one of these, to know whether they actually came from Russia. Because obviously we're reading English versions, right? So how accurate are the translations? When did they pass into the English media sphere? And were they in the Russian media? And maybe there's always the risk with UFO sightings that one reported sighting influences the next reported sighting,
Oh, yeah. The bandwagoning effect is real, isn't it? It really, truly is.
Yeah. It's difficult to like be that impressed with the reports at the moment, or like put much weight on them at the moment, when it's very difficult to nail down the source, the original source.
I think the most we have is the name of that particular colonel who was supposedly the one who shot down the UFO.
Yeah.
But I had a quick look, and there's not too much on him, on his account of what happened, which is a shame. He's just kind of name dropped, probably to provide some more credibility to it.
Right.
This is so bizarre.
What happened to him?
Though?
Is he?
from
No, I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
a notoriously transparent regime, and we can't get this information.
I was about to ask, if he gave any kind of public statement, I can imagine him being airbrushed out of all photos pretty quickly,
Yes. Yeah, excellent. Absolutely. I thought, to me, I like, if we're asking kind of what's going on here, there's definitely three potentials. There's the fact that the most common or most likely would be that these UFOs are aircraft from the military base that the military are trying to cover up. And so they say they're UFOs, they say they're potentially extraterrestrial to get people off the scent of what they're actually doing at the base.
Yeah.
Then I think the second one is that, it was known that the US and the British did flyovers, as you say, Robin, reconnaissance missions around this time throughout the Cold War. So yeah, UFOs is quite likely to be a reconnaissance. What's essentially people flying over to take pictures of the base, which they did, which makes a lot of sense. And when you shoot down these, you might not find aliens, but you'll definitely find the equivalent of a drone, basically, they're trying to get photos of what's going on. And then the third one would be that it is, of course, aliens. But then we have to ask ourselves, what's causing aliens to gravitate towards this particular area of Russia?
Yeah.
Because if they're in this small area, it's like a bit of a coincidence that they're all surrounding this particular military base. And then, of course, that then brings into your theory about them trying to recover their fallen comrades, Robin.
They're taking revenge.
One's been shot down, and now they're like, we need to go and get them back.
I do love...
So, yeah.
It's a bit unrelated to this. It's a bit of a tangent, but I do love, when the UK and the US and other countries were conducting surveillance of the Soviet Union, one vehicle that they did spot from aerial reconnaissance imagery was the Ekranoplan. Did you ever hear about this? Do you know
what?
So there's a vehicle called an Ekranoplan, and it looks like a plane, but the wings are really short and it's massive. And generally it flies over water. It can fly over land as well, but it very flat surfaces. And it basically uses the ground, I don't know what it's called, but the ground air lift effect to just basically cruise just above the water, 5 feet off the ground. So it can go very quick, but it just goes. And aerial reconnaissance was really confused by what Russia or the Soviet Union had, because it was a massive plane, but with very tiny wings. They were like, this could never get off the ground. What are they? What is this vehicle? Do they have some secret technology that lets their planes not need massive wings? But it's actually just an interesting form of transport that they came up with. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds awesome. Yeah. Well, when you were describing it, I was going to interrupt you and say, that obviously can't fly. Stupid Russians. But no, it can.
Wow.
Without fuel, apparently. That's amazing.
Oh, I didn't say
that
without fuel.
That is really cool.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was using the airlift from the flat surfaces to kind of glide.
Oh, I mean, it uses the lift effect to get off the ground, but it still needs lots of engines to get underway.
Right.
Yeah,
that's bold though. Imagine pitching that. Imagine being the scientist who, after 40 years of functional flight, goes into the room with all the generals and says, "I need $500 million to build this," and you unveil a gigantic plane with really short wings.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Sergey, why are you dealing in dollars?" $500 million.
Sorry, it's just rubles.
Rubles, yeah.
500 million rubles.
Sorry,
that was a bit of a tangent.
Kapustin Yar. Back to Kapustin Yar. So, are they just living off the hype of Roswell? To me, I think that they have. There's so many accounts of them shooting down these UFOs that I believe that probably did happen. There's probably some identified flying objects that the military shot down. Ooh. They didn't recover any alien bodies. Of course they didn't. That picture is probably fake, right? It's too much of a classic alien image to be real. But what they could have done is shot down, a reconnaissance plane, perhaps. And then the story's been embellished from there, and people have run with it. They're like, "Oh, we've shot down a UFO," which of course it is when they first see it. And then with UFO, people have thought, it's extraterrestrial, it's aliens. And then, these stories of finding aliens and the pictures taken with the aliens have all been embellished from there because of the influence of Roswell being only a year earlier. So that's my thoughts anyway, but I'm interested to know what you guys think and what people in the comments think too.
I think
you're right. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I was going to be a bit more cynical and say it's all made up as a kind of political response to Roswell, to say, look, we've got them too, but we're better. We shut them down. But actually, you're probably right, because from our side, of course, I know people have lots of faith in our governments in the West, and people aren't very cynical about what our governments tell us and don't tell us. But I can absolutely believe that any secret flights that were taking place over Russian territory during the Cold War that were shot down would not have been acknowledged by the West.
No.
That's
true. I think you're right. I think it's possible that maybe the initial reports of there was a UFO and we shot it down could be true. Maybe even so far as the whole, we recovered the wreckage and therefore the bodies in the wreckage. But then as soon as that rumor comes out, people pick up on it, elaborate on it, and feed into this whole UFO narrative, which was taking the world by storm throughout the 20th century, it seems.
That just reminded me, sorry, I got distracted there. Just reminded me of The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
After the bodies and the wreckage. Can't remember the question.
Yeah. That was a spot-on Bane, by the way. That was
perfect.
My voice is all over the place. So there we go.
Heard if I take that off?
I mean, I think it's aliens, so...
Yeah, for sure.
You're such an optimist, Alex.
There was, there was one comment. I think it was deleted now, but someone in the comments did say, and it's a bit of a elephant in the room topic. If the Soviet Union did have alien technology, well, then first of all, how did they not win the space race? But then also, why aren't they utilizing that now? In Ukraine. The Soviet Union, doesn't exist anymore. But assuming those secrets maybe got passed on to Russia now.
Too dangerous to reveal. Maybe that's the next stage of what's going on now, because of course it is still an active military base, and we'll get 100% house secrets that the general populace don't know about. So very interesting, as it is with Area 51, to actually know what's going on inside this military base. But it's always exciting, isn't it? Especially with the Cold War as well. It's quite it's the yin to the yang of it doesn't really apply here, but it's kind of like the US and it's the equivalent of the US's Area 51, which it doesn't get spoken about either, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'd not heard of it, literally not heard of it until you mentioned it before doing this podcast, Martin. So I'm really pleased to have found out about it, and I'm simultaneously frustrated that in the modern age, the age of information in which we live, we actually can't really know anything about it.
Indeed.
It just goes to show how much control governments can have over what information makes it into the public domain, and how little we know about other countries,
And their state secrets.
Yeah, exactly, their state secrets. How can we hope to conquer the cosmos in a obviously peaceful way without when we don't even know what's going on in the country next door? And by next door, I mean the other side of the world. But in America, Alaska's next door, kind of. So yeah,
that sounds like you're being a spokesperson for the NSA there, Robin. Just like, how can we, peacefully conquer the cosmos if we don't even know what's happening next door? That's why we have to spy on you.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, talking of sorry, Robin, carry on.
Yes, I was just going to respond to Alex with a stupid comment. So please continue.
Oh no, you feel free to, because I was about to segue into the next section of this podcast.
I was just going to say, well, Alex, if you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. No, bring it on. Bring on Big Brother. Yep. No, it's okay.
Yep, bring it on.
Search the hard drive, see whatever you want. I've got nothing to hide. It's cool.
So we could link to our Big Brother episode actually in a card above.
Episode
timestamp this. That'd be good.
101.
Of course. 101 was it? Of course.
Of course it was.
101 because it was Room 101 and Big Brother. So if you haven't seen that episode or listened to it, do go back and listen to it. That was one of my favourites of the most recent times. It was fun,
especially if you want to know what Alex might like about the Earth on which we live and what he wouldn't send to Room 101, because That episode was mostly Alex listing the things that he would send to Room 101, which turned out to be, spoiler alert, pretty much the entire world.
That was
There
basically
was a
just
lot on your list.
It was like a free therapy session for me, really. That was just a way for me to vent. I felt
Always here for you, Alex.
really great after that episode. Thanks, guys.
I'm gonna have to listen to that back because I can't remember all of the things that you put in there. But there were some great ones. Some that were really quite serious, and then others that were just ridiculous. So
It was mostly annoyances with walking behind or in front of people, and they're going
That's
the
too
wrong
slow,
speed.
too quick.
No.
Too slow, too
No,
quick.
don't start
No, he's
listing
starting-
again.
yeah, he's
No,
starting.
no,
Okay.
stop
Yeah, I'm
it.
getting
Stop it
worked
before
up.
it starts.
I'm here and I want to be down here. So it's
Well, without fail, Alex, you're going to get worked up in this next part of the podcast, which is, of course, the quiz. So are you guys ready for a few questions around a particular theme, in fact?
Technically, yes.
okay.
Good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Welcome to this week's quiz. As always, at home, you can play along. You don't have to have a buzzer, but what you do have to have is quick and speedy typey fingers, because the first 3 people that get the answer right in the comments will get a point, as will Alex or Robin, whoever gets the answer right first. Okay, 10 questions as always, and a bonus question. And this week's quiz is themed around the most wonderful time of the year, which is, of course, Six Nations season.
No, it's not.
Where the rugby,
really?
the rugby world,
Seriously?
the rugby world the rugby comes to the forefront,
Amazing.
and no one else cares about it apart from me and very few select people. But this week's quiz is Six Nations themed, and Alex has got his head in his hands for you listeners at home. But Alex, don't you worry, because it's not based around rugby. Don't worry,
okay.
it's not a rugby quiz.
Oh.
It's based
couldn't-
around the Six Nations.
Oh, Martin, I couldn't even tell you the Six Nations.
Clever.
Okay.
Oh,
Hopefully,
good.
that's question number 1.
But first, to answer the questions, we of course need your buzzers. So, Robin, you've got your finger on the pulse. What have you got there for us this week?
Well, I've gone to an old favourite.
Contact. If anyone is in these woods, show yourselves.
Excellent.
Now that could link into the old extraterrestrial theme as well, if you have
Yeah,
context.
yeah. The first question: is there anyone who'd like to make contact? That's Alex speaking to the universe.
I love him. I love him.
I was speaking
And Alex,
to
what have you gone for?
the several spirits that inhabit Epping Forest. Since the leaderboard is currently Robin is 1 ahead of both you and me, Martin, I've gone for, and it starts right now, meaning my comeback starts right now.
Hanging out with my friend John. Fox 5 Morning News starts. Look over there. And it starts right now.
Still,
That
to
is
this
beautiful.
day, one of the
It's
best
so
movies.
good.
Is that your favourite meme, Alex?
And it starts right now. I don't know. It's definitely up there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, guys. So, 10 questions. And the first question, just to give a bit of background to the Six Nations. The Six Nations is an annual rugby tournament where 6 of
Martin,
the...
you're not going to get me to watch it.
I'm not buying a mini metro. So it has 6 nations, 6 countries, of course, European countries that play against each other in a round-robin style tournament over 5 weeks. And the countries, of course, are Italy, England, France, Wales, Scotland, and
Argentina.
Ireland. No, not Argentina.
Sorry.
European. Come on, man.
Oh my
come
god,
on.
I wasn't even paying attention to you then. What were the Six Nations again? Can you say it again?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Alex. You don't need to know. It's fine.
I was providing some context, but it doesn't matter.
dang.
It
I have a
doesn't matter.
question, Martin. When does this year's tournament start?
Oh, it starts right now. No, it starts next weekend.
Next weekend. Oh
Yeah, it starts
man, I
this
thought I
coming
had.
weekend.
Oh, does it start on Saturday?
Yes, starts on Saturday.
Damn
Yeah.
it. I think I'm.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't had a drop off in viewers since I mentioned the Six Nations. So thank you very much,
Oh,
everyone.
yeah, thanks. So.
Um,
I think we may have had it. We've lost a few actually. I think, but yeah.
Okay. Actually, we'll just go. Okay, right. We're okay. We're stable. We're stabilizing.
I know we're about to do the quiz, but I just have one more question for you, Martin.
Okay.
Last year, I tried an experiment, and I got in available to my for my use at my leisure a spirit from each of the relevant nations in the Six Nations tournament.
Oh, nice.
Drank a glass of said spirit
During each match.
during each match. So that's 2 glasses for each game, because of course,
Yeah.
different two halves in each game, and kickoff is alternates. So that
You
was
also said
What I found was I'm an alcoholic.
well. I mean, there was that. But here's the interesting part. Well, my question is, Martin, are you going to do the same? But my addendum to that was going to be that actually I noticed whoever I started with won the match.
Whoever you started with won.
Yeah. So at first I was just doing whoever kicked off. And then they would win. And I thought, I'll switch it up just to test this theory.
Yeah.
And I'll go with whoever's not kicking off. That's the drink.
And then they started to win.
And then they started to win.
Wow.
This
Okay, well, I've got...
This is like those classic like pre-game rituals people have, though, isn't it? Like people will have their lucky shirts, and you've just sadly chosen a kind of, slightly more damaging form of
yeah, it's not the
ritual.
most
sustainable. I
Yeah.
guess.
taking that with me to a game would be difficult.
Yeah.
What did you go for Italy and France? Because behind me here, I've got whiskies from Scotland, of course, England, Ireland, and Wales.
Beautiful.
Which is quite.
So
Which is quite
you got
it's quite
Penderyn
good
for
going.
Wales, I guess.
I don't actually. I've got this one. This
one you got
this
for
one.
Wales?
This one. Never had that before.
Oh,
Yeah,
I haven't had that either. That's
Actually,
nice.
I think it might be Scottish.
Cardew, did you say?
Might be a
Oh,
Scottish one, actually,
that's
a
Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah.
I've got that's Irish.
Bushmills. Yep.
I've got an English one too, which is
Cotswolds.
quite rare. Quite rare. It's like it's my parents' book. Where is it?
I'm now learning
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
that
It
Martin
doesn't matter.
has
But yeah.
loads of whiskey bottles behind him whenever we're doing this podcast.
I've got the wine.
Always down
I've
there.
got the wine rack behind me here.
Oh, okay.
It's the perfect height for children. It's great.
Guys,
I-
people are saying
dogs
we
and
need to
children.
get on with it. Come on.
We do.
Oh yes,
do.
of course,
Sorry.
of course. This is ridiculous.
Just so FYI, Martin, French brandy and grappa for the Italian.
I see. Okay, nice.
Grappa's
nice.
not very good.
Okay, I'll find something else.
Neither's brandy, actually.
It's all disgusting. But I powered on. Okay, right. Question number 1.
Yep.
Out of the nations competing in the Six Nations tournament, which of their capital cities is the most populated?
News starts. Look over there. And it starts
Is there
right
anyone
now.
with
Well, Alex got that one. Yeah, that was Alex.
Alex,
Which are the capital
name the
cities?
city to humor. Name the city to humor us, and then
London?
London is the most populated city.
Yes!
Yeah.
1 point.
Well done.
Well done, Alex.
Okay, I need to get these early points in because I feel like I'm not going to get any later
You'll be
on.
fine. You're winning already. You're fine.
Okay. Question number 2. On the same theme, which is the least populated city out of the Six Nations of
wants to make contact?
Italy, France, England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland?
If anyone
And now having doubts. I'm going to take a punt and say Dublin.
It is not Dublin.
Damn it! I knew.
Starts. Look over there.
Got
And
the
it
wrong one.
starts right now.
Wales?
What's the city?
Oh, Cardiff.
Cardiff. It is Cardiff.
Oh, that was my first choice. That changed my
Cardiff.
mind.
Sorry.
Cardiff.
yeah.
So
Good boy.
to go through them all, London 8.98 million, Rome 2.87 million, Paris 2.16. I'm going computer off Google here, so if it's metropolitan versus whatever, I don't know. This is what I've got here. Edinburgh 554,000, Dublin 544,000, and Cardiff 488,000.
Oh, so it's quite close. It's quite close.
But with those three, it's close. Yeah.
I should have thought about it because Catholics, of course, they're going to have a bigger population over time.
Good point. doesn't really work
That's
here.
a good point.
That is a point. It doesn't get you a point though. So who got the first one right? So in terms of the first one, we had P. Greg said England. I mean, I was looking for the city, but you can go for England. It's the same. Yeah. Kilgore Trout, England, and Ethan Walker said London, which of course is correct. So well done on that. And then in terms of the other one, we had Sear Strummerson said Wales, Kilgore Trout again said Cardiff, and Ethan Walker again, Cardiff.
Very
So
nice,
well done
very nice.
to you three.
Nice.
Very good. Alex is 2-0 up. Robin, you got to fight back.
It's all downhill from here.
Question
Yes, it
number
is,
3.
Robin. Yes, it is.
Keep on
Just
thinking
give
that
up
way. Keep
now.
on thinking that way.
I kind of have, to be honest.
I have the high ground. What is question number 3? What is the most visited tourist attraction in England?
5 morning news starts. Look over there. And it starts right now.
Wow, straight
Yes.
in there.
Oh, it's-
Straight in there.
It's got to be the Tower of London.
According to my records, it is not the Tower of London.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Well, that's a surprise.
Is in these woods.
Yes, Robin.
Trafalgar Square?
No.
Oh.
Morning news starts.
Okay.
Look over there. And it starts right now.
Just going to go on this kind of list. Buckingham Palace?
Yeah.
No, apparently not.
Oh, no.
Okay. Specifically, tourists visiting, not like the most visited place by everybody?
Well,
Because it would be a train station, wouldn't it? Or
Well,
something
most,
like that.
yeah. I mean, it's an actual, I guess, an actual place that you can go into. You know, it's like you're not just passing through; you go to it. But
Right.
it's not just tourists that would visit here. There'd be like schools and all sorts.
Show yourselves.
Yes.
Stonehenge
No. Good guess though.
That was a good guess.
seems about the way. About the way.
So, this was in the UK, did you say?
In England, this one.
Oh, England.
Yeah.
And most visited. There's got to be something in London, right?
It must be. Yeah, I'd have thought. Yeah.
It's got to be the what is it? Shrek interactive experience. No, it's not. I guess.
Spot.
5 morning news starts. Look over there. And it starts right now.
Oh, it's definitely not this. No,
If you don't get it this time, I'll give you a clue of the type of.
Oh,
place.
actually, no. Should we just have a clue now?
Okay, have a
Oh,
clue.
go for a guess.
I
Go
can
for a guess.
Retract to
You
that
buzzed
buzzer.
in. Go for a guess.
No,
Go for it, Alex. Have one more.
No, I don't know. No. It's okay. Pass. I'll pass to the clue.
Okay. The clue is it's in the category of galleries and museums.
It's to make contact.
Is it the British
Oh
Museum?
my god, it is.
It is the British
Goodness.
Museum.
For goodness' sake.
Well done, Robin. Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. Which was a surprise to me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I went to the
It's
British
definitely a
Museum.
place to go, and you can go there in all weathers, right? So
Yeah, and it's free as well.
yeah.
I mean, most things.
I went on
most
2
museums are
school
London.
trips to the British Museum. Yeah.
Really,
I went
I
there.
used to go there on my lunch breaks.
I went there in year 2 to the British Museum, and then when I was in year 3, the year 2s got to go to Legoland. So how is that fair?
So, yeah,
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Not
You
fair
missed out.
at all. Yeah.
you missed out.
Last time I went to the British Museum, I went to their special exhibition, which was about Stonehenge, actually. That's why it came to mind, I guess. And it's such a big exhibition, their special exhibitions. And my wife and I always take too long. And we went in for the 2:00 slot, and we were still there at closing time. And we were literally pushed out by the staff standing behind us, kind of shuffling us
Starting
out of the
yeah,
thing. Yeah. We kind
Capital
of missed half the exhibition. Anyway, that's my very interesting story. Thank you for listening.
Well, when I went to the Natural History Museum, not the last time, but the time before, so this is even less interesting. The massive dinosaur and the dinosaur exhibit was closed. I was gutted.
Oh, no.
like
That's
the
the
best
best bit.
bit.
That's the
It's
best
the best
bit.
bit. I've seen, I've
What's
seen
his
a lot
name?
of
Dippy or something.
Andy's Dinosaurs Adventures on CBBC with my kids, and I was like, well, although they claim that that's the British Museum, it's actually shot in Bristol. So
Well, that's
fun
not right.
fun facts
Yeah.
for us all there. There we go. So that is 2-1 to Alex as we move on to question number 4.
Thank you. Who got the answer in the comments?
Oh yeah.
Bloody good question. Bloody good question. It was. It was.
Drum roll,
Sam
please.
Wong. Sam
Oh,
Wong.
Sam Wong.
Sam
He's
Wong.
Come on down.
He's back
British
in.
Museum.
He's
Well
here.
done.
Yeah.
And so did Jade. Jade, well done. British
Oh, nice.
Museum as well. And then Rec
Oh, Jade's
97
French
said
cheating, I think.
British Museum because every tourist want to see their stuff. Yes, it was being stolen.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Go to the British Museum. Like, excuse me, I'm here to see my grandfather's clothes.
Oh no. It's so true. Can we move on to question number 4? Now, the wording of this one, it was fairly colloquial, as you'll hear.
Okay. Okay.
In what year was St. Patrick bubbling around Ireland?
In what year?
In what century?
Is he
Alright.
bubbling around Ireland?
Bubbling around, you know,
If anyone
bumbling
is in
around
these
Ireland.
Oh,
Yes.
bumbling.
Just knocking about. You know.
yourself.
Talking about.
That's a tough one. Do you say this was the closest wins? Or it's not?
Well, I want a century, so you have 100 years.
Okay. 6th century.
Okay. Any advance on 6th, Alex?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 8th century.
Okay. You are both incorrect.
Are we both?
Oh,
very
Let's
far
have another
away?
guess. Have another guess.
Did anyone die here?
Did I say? What did I say?
You
6th
said
century.
the 6th century.
Alex said the
8th.
8th century. Oh, it's tempting.
It's tempting.
It's tempting, isn't it? I'm going to go earlier and say 5th century.
Okay. Alex,
too early. That's way too
any advance on 5th?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7th. It's tempting. I'm gonna go for it.
Isn't it?
Well done, Robin. It's the 5th century.
Oh, yes.
Fair enough.
Very good. And we got well, there's some guesses that were quite far off. But that's fair enough because, you know, Irish history isn't for everyone.
I mean, in fairness, I'm very
should
glad
be.
that Robin went first there because, yeah, no, I could
What
just
would you
base
have
my
guessed if I?
would have no idea. Probably gone earlier. I probably would have gone like 2nd or 3rd century. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I based it off Columba because I think Columba went to Scotland to convert the Picts to Christianity in 585, I want to say.
Okay.
And he was obviously post-Patrick. So that would be... that's why I went 6th century, like early 6th century. Anyway.
Well, there we go.
Who got it in the
Who
chat?
got it in the chat? So, Ethan Walker, 5th. C.S. Strummerson, 5th. Bush Light said, OMG, I meant 5th. And then he put 1653 is the 5th century. No, it's not. It's not the 5th century. No. Afraid not. There we go. I think that was those two. I think were the two that got it. So well done, you two.
Well done.
Good stuff, and well done, Robin.
It's a tough quiz.
So Robin, you are now. You've come back. You've had you've been hitting back. It's 2-2.
Oh, well.
Rough start, turbulent start. But back in it for sure. Okay, let's move to the wonderful culinary nation of Italy. And let's have a foodie question.
Oh, yes.
So,
Alex will be straight in here. Italian's his favourite food.
okay, so, well, let's see. Let's see about that.
Yeah. See, again, he's trying to psych me out.
I know, right?
No, that's not what...
Okay, question number 5.
I know your tricks.
What does the word ciabatta literally mean in Italian?
Ooh.
I don't know that.
Oh, that's a really... Ooh, yeah.
That's not the kind of food question I want. That's a language question.
Ciabatta.
Ciabatta.
What's it actually mean?
Yeah. Maybe you know or you don't. You could probably start to think about what it might mean.
Yeah.
Ciabatta. Does it mean just
Ciabatta.
hard bread? I don't know.
No, it doesn't. But nice guess.
Okay. Yeah, because we had a similar question of the week about panini, and that just means bread, pan, like the French pan.
Yes.
Bread from the Latin. So I've no idea what ciabatta is. No idea.
Everyone in the comments put bread, and it's like, I know it's bread. It's like, what does it literally mean? Right.
I mean, I'm hoping you're being nice to us, Martin, and it's something that we could guess. So,
Show yourselves.
so if it's not bread, it's gonna be like baked.
No.
Last guess.
I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue.
Okay.
Think about the shape that it's made in and what that looks like. Do you know? Have you had ciabatta before? What kind of it looks like?
Look over there. And it starts
so.
right now.
Yes, Alex.
I mean, the length can kind of vary, but I mean, it's
Well, hey.
Ciabatta. Does it mean like 4 sides?
No. No, I like it. I like
square,
it. I like the guess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Did anyone
Sorry.
die here?
I now may be failing to picture what ciabatta looks like. Isn't ciabatta kind of knotted, twisted?
Yes, it is. Yep, that's the one. Yep, keep going with that line of thinking.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
It's not.
Okay, I'm wrong then. Take it back.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll give you the answer. I'll give you the answer to this one. It literally means slipper.
What?
Oh,
It looks like a slipper because they're low and they're flat.
no,
Fairly flat.
no.
It's not
Yeah.
remotely
I mean, yeah, I believe
close.
you, but that's not a clue that I would never have got based on its shape.
Think
I
about
would
the
never have
shape of
guessed-
ciabatta. Slippers.
Yeah.
Not-
Go and look.
No.
Google images of ciabatta, and you tell me that doesn't look like something you could put on your
that's-
feet in the winter.
That's the kind of thing you'd only
keep your
get once you've been
toesies warm.
told. No.
Well, it's a tough question. You know.
No,
what
I
you
would
don't.
never. No, not
Your
no.
culinary knowledge, your oh, I can't even say that.
Culinary.
Culinary knowledge is just not up to par.
No, this is true.
unfortunately,
My
to know,
culinary knowledge.
to know the true meaning of ciabatta.
That's so.
There we
That's
go. You
great.
know it now. You know it
That's
now.
great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
good.
So thanks, Italy. Okay. Yes. So who got that? Did anyone get that? I was surprised if someone got it. Ethan Walker says, I think it means like a shoe, like a slipper or something. Okay, I'll give you that.
Wow.
And
fair
Peter
play. Fair
Cazol
enough.
says slipper. So
Oh, nice.
well done, you two. And Dan says shoe. And I mean, I'm tempted to give Dan a point there too because it's a tough question.
Ciabatta.
Shoe's pretty good.
Because shoes were basically slippers back in like medieval times. So if the ciabatta goes back a ways, then yeah, that counts.
As Jade
Exactly.
points out, Martin, this is becoming a running theme. Last week you
Oh,
thought
well,
the moon was shaped like a lemon.
No, well, hold on a second, Jade. Didn't you think the moon was shaped like a lemon? No, hold on a second. The moon is shaped like a lemon. I don't think that's a fact.
Yeah.
There's no thinking. There's no thinking. That was the most fact of the week.
FYI, for all of our listeners and watchers who may be YouTube members, you now have access to 2 new emojis. One of which is a lemon moon or a lemoon,
Is that?
and the
Oh,
other of
nice.
which is one of us wearing a tricorner hat, and hopefully that's evident from the emoji. They are quite small on YouTube, so YouTube members, feel free to use those those emojis.
This is well
I can't
done.
believe you
didn't-
made those,
I didn't
Robin.
even know. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wow. Excellent. Lovely.
Yes, lemoon. Good stuff. Okay, so neither of you got that one. So it's still 2-2 as we move on to question number 6.
Okay. Fair
Okay,
enough.
number 6. What was the capital of England before London?
News starts. Look over there. And it starts right now.
Yes.
I don't know if this is right, but I'm just going to have a swing because Robin's going to get it if I don't guess. Was it Colchester?
Is Dick Turpin
No.
here?
No.
Sorry,
Not
that was-
Colchester.
You're so close. I
Yeah.
believe it was Winchester.
Winchester. Well done, Robin. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I had to
damn.
Knowledge. Yeah.
Had to
Close though, Alex. That was a good guess. Very good guess.
I mean,
Yeah, I
they're
had to
not,
dig
they're
deep
not
there,
very
though.
close. They are like quite far away.
they're not,
aren't
but you're on the right lines. You'd heard that it was a Chester.
they? It was a stir. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a Chester. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was scared though. I thought Alex had it for a moment, and I was because my mind had gone blank, and he buzzed in, and I was like, "Oh no!" And then
Winchester.
Just as
I wouldn't have guessed that. That wouldn't have popped into my head though.
No.
Yeah. Never been to Winchester.
yeah, well, it's lovely.
No,
Winchester.
neither.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Where is it? Where is Winchester?
Southwest.
Yeah. Southwest.
It's about. I think it's like 2 hours on the train, on the express train from London.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I'd
A
head
bit
there.
harder for Alex to get to from
That's
Scotland.
true. Yeah, that is bad. Very bad. Yeah. So, who got it? Kilgore Trout, Winchester. Bang on. Nice one.
Nice.
P. Greg said Colchester as well. So, yeah, along the same lines. But not quite. And Ethan Walker said Winchester? Question mark. So, yes. Well done. Very good. A few answers for York, which I can understand as well.
York's a good guess.
Well, that was the capital of the Danelaw.
Yes.
Jorvik.
Yeah, but never a
Warwick.
capital of England.
No. No,
Yeah.
close though, close. Well done, Robin. So that is 3-2 to Robin. As we move on to question number 7. What is
That's tight.
the tallest mountain in Wales?
Look over there. And it starts right
Is
now.
Dick Turpin in these woods?
I heard a look over there.
Yeah,
I think that was just like you. We'll give it 2 seconds just for people to have a quick answer in the old chat. Okay, we're good. People, the comments are coming in. Good.
Wait, what? What? Who is my guess?
You're good to answer. You're good to
okay.
answer. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't know mountain geography at all. I don't know any of that. Was it Snowdonia?
Yes, I'll give you
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Snowdon.
Snowdon.
Yeah.
In Snowdonia.
Snowdonia is the range.
Yeah,
right?
that's the range. Snowdon is the
Snowdon.
one.
Yes. Yeah.
Snowdon.
Yeah.
Snowdon.
No, I knew that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. All good.
Edward Snowden.
Can you name in Scotland? This isn't a no points for this, but the tallest one in Scotland.
Is it
Ben Nevis.
Oh, I was going to say that.
Mr. Benjamin Nevis.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Alex. I didn't mean to interrupt.
How rude. Because Ben. I was thinking Ben. Is it Ben Nevis? But then I was like, no, because Ben. Doesn't Ben mean mountain in Gaelic?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Yeah.
Do I get a bonus point for that?
Nice. No bonus points in this quiz.
The Welsh equivalent
awarded.
is Penn. There's Ben McDooey. I'd like to go there and experience that whole freaky
The Grey
grey
Man.
man thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun to do.
I'm tempted to
Yeah,
do
that'd
like
be good.
a little hike up there because it's, I think, an hour or 2 away from me. So, yeah, that would be fun to do.
You should do that. Yeah. You're going to hike to it and then up it.
I'll be honest, the hiking is the least attractive part of this idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that'd be a fun one maybe for all 3 of us to do. Yeah.
That would be good. So, who in the chat got it? Jade was in there, bang on. Right at the start, well done. As was P. Greg, and so was Kilgore Trout. Wow, there are some definitely some quick fire answers here from some of the same people over and over again. So, well done. Your touch typing skills from year 3 have come in handy. Very good. So that is 3-3. Wow, it is.
It's a close one,
Pretty
isn't it?
tight.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
gonna be close.
I've got a
Alex has got
Scottish
it.
question for you next, or a Scottish adjacent question.
Alex definitely knows this one.
No, but you have you're a big fan of Scotland. I think you know more about
You
Scotland
love
than
Scotland.
me.
Not modern Scotland.
You'll both know this one. Fingers on buzzers for this one.
Great.
Who was the last Scottish Prime Minister?
Fox 5 Morning News starts. Look over there. And it starts right now.
As in the Prime Minister of the UK, who is Scottish, not the First Minister of Scotland. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one and only Gordon, right? Gordon Brown.
It would happen to be Mr. Gordon Brown.
Gordon Brown.
Yes.
Well done.
Texture like sun.
I was so hoping Alex would get caught out and say Nicola Sturgeon.
Yes, I should have given the clarification, should I? Well, I think you're on. You're on the right
she's
lines
the
anyway.
first minister, not the prime minister.
Well, exactly.
The
And I know
first
you know
minister.
that. It was the only hope I had when you buzzed in first.
Gordon Brown. So, who in the comments loves their British politics? Jade again, of course. I was the same 3. Jade, Kilgore Trout, and P. Greg were first
Oh, they
onto
know
that.
their
Dan,
stuff.
you were good, but you were 4th, I'm afraid. Well, actually, P. Greg's put Grodorn Brown. So you know, I might give Dan.
counts,
I might just let Dan have the point there.
That's
I'm joking, P. Greg. You can both have a point. I prefer Grodorn.
I did an extra R and both R's are in the wrong place. That's amazing.
Grodron
Very
Brown.
good. Very good. Grodron.
My name is Grodron.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
Sounds
So
like a
that is-
sci-fi villain. Yeah.
So that is 4-3 to Alex. There's 2 questions to go, plus a bonus.
He's got
So
it.
there's
He's
time.
got it. He's got it.
Okay.
These
This one is the
psyching
closest
out
one.
techniques. Oh my gosh.
Oh, stop it. You know it's not that.
Okay, question number 9. In pounds sterling, how much money is thrown into the Trevi Fountain in Rome each year?
Oh, bloody hell.
What, each year?
Each year.
Pound sterling.
I don't even know where to begin with this.
You can break it down per day, how much you think people would chuck it in and times it by.
Boat show. Good morning. everybody. I'm
That
hanging
didn't
out with my
help.
friend John. Fox 5 Morning News starts. Look over there. And it starts right now.
Okay, I'm gonna say it probably gets conservatively. Oh no, it's gonna be quite a lot. I'm gonna say £400,000.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, that's annoying.
Show yourself.
I was going to go with 1 million, but now you've gone with 400,000. I think I'll just plump for 500,000.
You need that. You want that point.
On that point.
It is 1.3 million.
Oh,
Oh,
I
really?
was way off.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That is,
1.3
that's a lot.
million pounds
That's
per
so
year.
much money. Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
So there's like
That's
what,
a lot.
£2,000-3,000 put into the fountain every single day.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you go and scoop it up, you'll be
Yeah.
doing all right. I
Where
imagine
does
that
that
people would
money
stop
go?
you doing that.
Does it just the local
That's a
council
bloody good
gets
question.
it?
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, it must be. It's probably like that's the equivalent of their box. The donations box.
Yeah.
Chuck it in
Yeah,
the
I guess.
fountain. Yeah. Wow. So who was close? Dan, 1.3 million. Wow.
Wow.
Fair play. Spot on. Well done.
That's a huge, wow.
Wow. I mean, he's the closest, of course, by a mile. But Hey Now Paulie said 2 million, which is not a bad guess. And yeah, a few other fairly close answers, but I think those two, I think, are the closest ones. So we'll give good points to those two, and of course to you, Robin, as well.
Oh, I think
4-all.
Wow, this is the decider.
Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. I'm gonna freak
it's down
out.
to buzzers. It's down to buzzers.
Question number 10.
Oh no.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. Which country won the 2022 Six
No!
Nations Championship?
No, I don't.
Boudica?
No.
1 in 6 chance. 1 in 6 chance.
Is there anyone here that wants...
Boudica, I heard.
Yeah. Thank you. Was it? And this is where it gets really embarrassing if I've forgotten. Was it France?
You have won the quiz.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Alex. Actually, that was a question you just couldn't know. I'm sorry.
And then you immediately
But thank you,
apologize
Martin.
afterwards.
But thank
Why? Why do you have to be so nice? I've just want one time for you to rub it in my face.
Well, Alex,
We can
when we're
soundbite that.
not
We can
broadcasting,
soundbite
I'll rub
that.
it in your face. But,
Oh,
you know,
I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry I won. I'm sorry I crushed you into dust.
No, what are you talking about? It was 5-4. We were tied on the last question. You can't get closer than that. My gosh.
Oh dear.
Just happen to have slightly better knowledge than you.
No. I'm not even sure I saw that game. I think I missed it, sadly.
Oh gosh.
They didn't get
Well,
a Grand Slam, did they? Or
They did. They won the
They
Grand
did
Slam.
get a Grand
Yeah.
Slam. Oh,
First
wow.
time since 2010, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 So I
No.
thought I was initially you said it was Six Nations themed
I've
quiz.
got to have a rugby question.
And I was
there,
like,
you know me.
Thank you, Martin.
oh, this is going to be a disaster. But then I was like, oh no, maybe I'll do okay after a few questions. And then it was really
You were
close.
doing great.
And then it was like, it could go down to the wire. It's 50-50. And then you were like, rugby question right at the very end.
If you got the buzzer in there first, what would you have gone for?
I wouldn't have gone for France. No way.
Probably
I would
not.
have said, I probably would have gone for Wales. I don't know why. They just seem very into rugby.
Wales are a team. I don't know if you feel like this, Martin, but in my head, Wales are a team who have always recently won in my mind. But actually,
Okay.
when you look at it,
Yeah.
they're good enough. They're absolutely good enough. They just never do.
The thing is that they're boom or bust. They either win the championship or they come like fifth. There's
Yeah.
not really much in between.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
But
are
didn't
a
do
great
very
team.
well last year.
Fantastic team. Yeah.
Yeah. Historically. Yeah. They probably show up. They show up against England too. Anyway, they've
I
got.
think everyone does. Yeah.
I don't know. No one cares about rugby, so I'm going to avoid going into that wormhole, going down that
Alex.
rabbit hole because no one cares about it.
I
But
will
well
say this
done.
though: England are typically the dominant team, and they've had a fantastic coach for the last few years. Obviously, fantastic players, but a fantastic
been
coach.
fired, yeah.
Just being fired. So this year, Alex, is the year to put on your Scotland shirt, paint your face in the saltire, and get jacked up on Scotch whiskey and support your local team. in
Maybe
the
I
Six
will.
Nations.
Maybe I will, Robin. This year, maybe I will.
Well, today I decided to change my football allegiance. I know for some people that'd be a
Can you do
sacrilege,
that?
wouldn't it? It'd be like, well, you can if your team has been taken over by the Saudi state and you no longer feel an affinity with them.
Oh wow.
Which has happened. So on this podcast, I'm going to announce it today. But I still will like this team, and I'll back them if I see them competing in the Premier League, which is Newcastle United. But my club that I went to a lot when I was a child, and that my dad supports, is Charlton Athletic. So I think that League One, 3 tiers down in English football, Charlton Athletic are going to be my team moving forwards. I think it just makes more sense. It makes more sense, and I feel good about it.
You switched from Newcastle to Charlton Athletic.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Great,
that seems like a well-reasoned switch.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you brought that up, though, because today I was watching that documentary series about Rob McElhenney and what's his name, Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
Oh right,
Wrexham.
the Wrexham thing.
Welcome to Wrexham.
Oh,
It's surprisingly good, actually, even if you're not interested in football. It's
Right, yeah.
well worth a watch.
Oh,
I have to watch that. I have to give it a go.
Yeah.
I just think with I don't really feel an affinity to a team full of just, I don't know, none of them are from the place. None of them are from Newcastle anymore. And I was always Alan Shearer. I was always like, I like Alan Shearer because he's like a Geordie and a really good player, plays for England. And I'm just like, I don't really care. Whereas Charlton Athletic, local side. So there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Doom says,
I can hear a dog.
Yeah.
You can hear a dog. And he's just stuck his head out the cat flap. So hello.
Can we have pet cam, Martin?
Can indeed. Maybe next week. Next week. I'll get some dual cam going with. Yeah. It'll be good.
Oh yeah, we'll get those GoPros, strap them to your pets, and live stream those on the podcast
that'd be
on
great.
YouTube next time. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, it'll just be him following the cat around.
Disclaimer: not actually probably going to happen, but
Unlikely. Maybe it's a piece of bonus content for the patron. In any case, gentlemen, thank you very much for partaking in that Six Nations quiz and not kicking off too much.
Thank you,
to everyone in the
Martin. That was a good
comments.
quiz.
Do we have
By the way, a lot of people got France. By the way, well done to everyone who said France.
Oh well,
very good.
Some
very
Six
good.
Nations.
There's probably
fans
some
here.
bandwagoners, I imagine, but well done anyway.
Do we have a
Bonus
bonus
question, of course.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. How many miles is it from London to Paris as the crow flies?
Too many. Not enough. Depending on your xenophobic persuasion.
Frame of reference.
Yeah, I don't even know what. Yeah.
It's to make contact.
Oh, okay.
If it,
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Yes.
No, go for it.
Yeah, Robin.
Okay. I'm trying to think. How long does it take on the Eurostar train to get there? It was like 2 hours, right? 2 hours? 3 hours? 3 hours.
You can't buzz and then do your reasoning. This is
So this is true. I'm just 110 miles.
Okay. 110 miles. Okay, Alex. Any advance on 110?
Yeah, I reckon it's a little bit further. I'm gonna, to make it interesting, I'll say 200.
Okay, 200. So 110, 200. Alex, you are the closest. It is 214 miles. That's the correct price.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
it's not far at all. Yeah. Well, there we go.
Interesting.
So well done those in the chat. There were a few people that said 200 actually. Recu97.
Nice.
And P. Greg said 250, not far off. Tommy Webber said 200. So well done. Well done to you all. Very good.
Lovely.
Very good. Brilliant.
Well, thank you for
Okay.
the quiz, Martin. That was really great. Even though I
no trouble
lost
at all.
again.
Thank you.
Oh, Robin,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I need
that's
to
close.
add a point to your total.
Oh, on the scoreboard.
You are on
which means-
5 now. That is terrifying. I don't like that at all.
No, that's only 2 ahead. Either of you could easily catch up and overtake.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's manageable. Are you doing the next quiz, Robin?
Yes,
Possibly.
I think
Can't-
so.
Okay,
can't
that gives us a
remember,
chance
actually,
then. That gives us a chance if that's the case.
Yes, one of you will advance on the leaderboard when I'm a quiz master. Yeah. What's the riddle answer?
Yes,
'Cause
the
that's
riddle's
been
go.
bugging me the whole time.
What can you hold in your right hand but not in your left? Any answers, Alex or Robin?
Your left hand.
Yeah.
Indeed,
left
it's
hand.
obvious. It's fairly obvious. It is, of course, your left hand. Well done to anyone that got that in the chat. I think there were a
feel
couple
like with
actually got
enough
it early.
contortion, I could probably hold my left hand in my left.
Is this right?
I'm sure.
It's
yeah.
like,
there must
what
be
it-
some yoga specialists who can do that.
What is the sound of one hand clapping? You do that, isn't it? You could do exactly that. Same thing with like
Yeah.
A bit like,
hold,
a bit like
hold your right
clicking
hand with
without.
your right hand.
Yeah.
Whoa! What is that? What are you doing there?
That's clicking, but without actually clicking. It's just hitting your finger against the, because that's what a
Whoa.
click is, right? It's that hitting that. Do it without.
Whoa! That's
really
cool.
That's fantastic. That is, yeah.
That's
Is that-
horrible
that's
to listen
not
to.
good. It's good
but,
enough to be.
that's,
It's not good enough to be a party trick, I don't think.
I
Have you ever
like
done
it.
that whilst making love, Martin, and freaked out?
Oh, all the time. It's like, some kind of weird, some very fetish shit. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been put in prison
Contrary
for that too.
to what you might think, it does not kill the mood. Actually enhances
I'm
the
like
experience.
like a clicker from the Last of Us, running around, some pest running around, clicking
Oh man,
their
yeah.
fingers.
Oh gosh.
Do you know
No,
what?
I've
at
seen
some
that.
point, video gaming will become, and then the TV series will become so ubiquitous that there'll be a generation of people who into kink, and that is their kink. Clicker from The Last of Us. That will happen.
No, that's grim. Have you watched any of it yet? You guys been keeping
I
up?
haven't yet. No. Is it good?
Okay.
Is it? Yeah. Is it good?
Yeah,
I do want to watch
I've seen
it.
the first two. I need to watch the third one. It was out last night, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's pretty true to the game so far from what I've seen, which is good. But it's weird. It's weird though, because when I'm watching it with my wife, I'm very much like, oh, I can't help myself but be like, oh, I wonder if this is, oh yeah, that's similar to the game. And I realise I'm doing like a little bit of a commentary, which is of course incredibly annoying, and trying to be almost like a, yeah, I know it's cool. I know about this. Played the game. It's just completely pathetic and stupid. But there's almost there's almost a stupid amount of like little tiny bit of ownership because you know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Which is terrible.
yeah.
But
It's great.
what it is.
It's great that it's like introducing that story though to loads of people that would never have got the chance or wanted to play the game, because it's a great story.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is. It's really good. It's really good.
Nice. Well, thank
Okay.
you, Martin.
No,
for
thank you
hosting
guys, and
this one.
thank you for everyone who's watched today. There was a nice number of you as well, and let us know what you think about Russia's Area 51, what you think is being hidden in there, and what you think, of course, about the UFO sightings that have supposedly been seen. After this, we're of course off to shoot a Patreon exclusive, a little more interesting. So if you haven't signed up, you can sign up for whatever you think. If you think we're worth, $1, then $1's great. If you think we're worth less than $1 and nothing, then nothing's great. Just there's
your
no
company is
obligation.
enough.
There's no obligation. But thank you very much for those who do support us. It's very much appreciated. Thank you guys for humouring me this week, and we'll see you next time. Have a good week.
Absolutely.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.